A little more than 12 hours after being deemed unfit to play host to the shortest format of the game, Old Trafford was the venue for a 4-day county championship match between Lancashire and Sussex. A typical Manchester downpour had left Old Trafford ground staff with quite a task on their hands to get a game on last night, with one area causing particular concern. It was enough of a concern for both captains and umpires to deem the ground unfit to play. A view not shared by fans, commentators and certainly Lancashire Chief Executive Jim Cumbes.
Quite strange, isn't it, really? I mean, normally we say that the conditions are difficult for 4 or 5 day cricket, where people have to run up and bowl 96 overs in a day, and yet somehow we couldn't get through 15 or 20 overs a side last night. I think that's the disappointing feature, and to my mind, this answers the whole question.
In terms of the way the evening progressed, could it have been handled better as well, do you think, from the officials that were involved?
It's always a difficult one for the officials, I accept that, where they perhaps delay things in the hope that things are going to get better. But I think on this occasion last night, given the conditions, given the time of night the game was played, to my mind I went out at 7 o'clock and had a look at it, and that wasn't going to change a great deal during the course of the evening. So I think if it was in their mind to call that game off, they could have called it off earlier.
After missing out on an Ashes test, a bumper crowd was inside Old Trafford waiting for a glimpse of 2020 cricket. The fact that they didn't concerned Cumbes most.
That's the biggest disappointment, is the fact that, 20,000 people bought tickets, in some cases months ago, and in some cases travelled distances to get here last night. And I personally think they've been cheated out of a game.
What could have been done differently then, do you think?
I think just play the game. I can't really say anything more than that. I mean, the area that was affected is not part of the new drainage system. And I was making an explanation last night that I hadn't spoken to the groundsman at that time, so I didn't know how that area had got wet. But apparently what does happen when you put plastic sheeting on is when you've had a lot of rain or you've got a high water table, you get a lot of sweating underneath those sheets. And to illustrate that fact, Matt, our groundsman, put boards down over the spot last night and then covered it with sheets, as he would do for today's game. When the sheets were lifted this morning, the boards were soaking wet, and that's what I mean by sweating. It actually draws the moisture up.
Suggestions that the game could have been played if only spinners were used at one end of the ground have been dismissed by Cumbes. He's sure last night's farce, though, will not affect the ground's future international prospects. Andy Dickman, Channel M Today.